In the summer of 1921, the Weimar Republic was suffering not from foreign powers, but from internal contractions. In Bavaria, one man, Gustav Ritter von Kahr, was building his own power, which would make the Republic almost walk straight into a civil war. This is the story of how he did it and how he was stopped. After the Great War, Germany was a broken nation, only saved from a communist revolution by the Essen Agreement. This, however, left many on the right wing fearing the communists would use their time to prepare and eventually launch a revolution. This, of course, would leave many on the right wing to look for a savior of their own. This man would, of course, be Gustav Ritter von Kahr, a reactionary based in Bavaria. He hated the Weimar Republic, and if he could bring it down, he would. Thankfully for Kahr, Bavaria had become a safe haven for right-wing paramilitaries after the failed coup attempt known as the Kapp Putsch. Many right-wingers fled to Bavaria to save themselves from Republican backlash, making it a stronghold for the far right and their militias. Kahr and his supporters, however, could not launch a coup just yet, and so they had to allow the Weimar parties to play their game. And play their game they would. The Weimar parties would pass significant reforms to strengthen the Republican and socialist forces within the Republic. And while they would face resistance from the right wing, it was not enough to deter the Republicans from further reforms. However, the luck of the Weimar parties would swiftly change. With Kahr restoring himself to politics and his position within the BVP, he would pull his party out of the Grand Coalition and make the government collapse. This was a calculated move by Kahr, not just to bring down a government with socialists in it, but also his way of demanding the restoration of the empire and far-right control over the military. In September, Kahr, having felt his place was secured, he looked at the councils left from the German Revolution, and he saw these as maybe his biggest threat yet, and so the right-wing militias in the state disbanded all remaining councils from the revolution. But that was not enough for Kahr. He also started a mass white terror and deportation of Jews living within Bavaria. These events left President Erber and newly elected Chancellor Koch appalled. They could not believe the white terror happening within Bavaria, and after ultimatums were sent and ignored, President Erber ordered for a Reichsexecution of the Bavarian government. Kahr would very quickly oppose this move and would rally the Reichswehr 7th Division to fight back against the incoming 4th and 5th Divisions. Kahr and his forces would set up barricades within Munich and prepare to fight back against the Reichsexecution. When the 4th and 5th Divisions arrived outside of Munich, they demanded the surrender of Kahr's forces and the dissolution of his government. After a tense few minutes that must have felt like hours, negotiations fully broke down. A few hours later, direct orders arrived for the 5th Division to move directly into Munich, which at first they moved in unopposed, but near government buildings they faced fierce resistance from mainly right-wing militias and elements of the 7th Division loyal to Kahr. In a new attempt to force negotiations, Kahr announced that he had taken many hostages from the Landtag, all of which were socialists, including Anton Pulf. This forced the 5th Division to stop and report back to high command. However, before they could even do this, gunfire broke out, prompting the 5th Division to storm Kahr's forces. Intense fighting, which caused the death of many government forces. The government was able to take the Landtag and capture Kahr himself. Thankfully, the hostages were mostly unharmed. While the Reich's forces did defeat Kahr on the battlefield, they lost the hearts and minds of the Bavarian people. Hugo Graf was made Reichskommissariat, which displeased the Bavarian people. However, Bavaria would recover. Georg Heim of the BVP would put together a new coalition with the Democratic Party and the Peasants' League, restoring democratic rule to Bavaria. However, it would be a temporary measure, with the far right gaining in Bavaria. The Heim coalition could be the last democratic government the Bavarian people elect in a long time. The events of this video are of course fictional, however you may wonder where it even comes from, and the answer is it comes from a political simulator about the Weimar Republic, aptly named Weimar Sim. The sim allows for people to play as characters from the time period and build their own story. If you found the events of this video to be interesting, you should join the link in the description or check the comments section, since I might post it there because YouTube doesn't like me. Anywho, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Rampage.